Many years ago, an ordinary trainer grew tired of the vast and expansive world full of Pokemon they played with every day. It had grown stale and easily predictable. This ordinary trainer craved more of a challenge, more depth, more thrill, and the only way to do it would be through change. With their love and compassion, their unseen hand shaped the world anew, and with their creativity and determination, their unpredictable mind made these ideas turn into a reality. They called him Drayano, the silent mastermind behind the hours of joy we cherish every day. These creations, gifts, were noticed and appreciated by countless players. But while most were praised and still stand at the top even to this day, what piqued my interest wasn't what stood at the top. It was what stood at the bottom. I took it upon myself to dive deep into the darkness, to find greatness now forgotten by many. I'll be hardcore Nuzlocking Drayano's least played ROM hack. This is the Pokemon Sinking Sapphire Hardcore Nuzlocke. Before I start talking about the run, however, I'd like to ask for you to consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video so you don't miss out on my future uploads. Alright, enjoy the video. Yes, it's day 1. I wanted to beat this game as fast as possible and will be handling chapters this video by days. Just like any Pokemon Nuzlocke, we start our journey by picking our starter, and since we are in the Hoenn region this time around, our 3 little rookies are the good and reliable pack of Treecko, Torchic, and Mudkip. But just like all the other Dray hacks, changes were of course implemented. Swampert got a simpler change through Damp being its now second ability, letting me play around explosions and self-destructs. Blaziken got a huge buff through Speed Boost, now being its other ability, meaning it is not locked behind a special event or its Mega Form. And finally, Sceptile, which not only got Unburden as the second ability, its typing also got changed to reflect the Mega Form, with the Lizard now being Grass Dragon. While Kip and Torchic are both the most optimal due to their matchups against the entire game, I decided to take Treecko, since its buff type appealed to me and I felt I'd have the most fun with this option, something which I actually regret almost instantly with the first gym leader, but I digress. Our first pickups end up being Pidgey, Lotad, Nidoran, Venonat, Growlithe, and Paras. As you can see from this in my Redux run, my early game encounters are always amazing. Of course it's this fucking idiot! Oh my god! I will add that I delayed Route 104, since if you're able to successfully pull off this delay, you can guarantee yourself a secret weapon that can fully sweep Brawly. However, for that to happen, we need to get to Brawly, and with a box equivalent to a trash can like ours, it's kinda hard to see that happening. Roxanne is our first real opponent, and this is possibly the hardest first boss Drayano has ever cooked up on his own. This team is quite literally Grovile's worst nightmare on paper. Archer Lead prevents any grass type from taking kills, and even if you plan on using water types, who knows, you may just get unlucky with double teams, and boom, there you go, there's already an RNG check by the first gym leader of the game. Of course, this is extremely unlikely, and that's why Marshtomp here would be incredible, but we don't have that, do we? I also have to highlight the Dragon-type Tyrant with Strong Jaw, the absolute insane Bug Bite Silver Powder tech NRF has, which by the way he has 95 base attack and 75 speed, which is out of this world for whatever box you may have by this point, and finally her Storm Drain Laleep, which I'll say on its own isn't actually a threat. Gen 6 AI knows how to use the ability, so every time you click a water move on any of her mons, there's already an extremely high chance Roxanne will just switch and F you up with her boosted Finger Plant. It took me an hour to plan for this beast of a team, but I finally had it. Wanna know my plan? Alright. Random bullshit. Good. That's insane. Okay, that's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. That's like the best possible turn 1. Look, this isn't my brightest moment and we all know this, but it was my only play. Every mon in my box got outsped and killed, and my Lombre couldn't kill it ever, so it had to be done. Now with Archon being +1 evasion up, and with me using Bubble, I knew Laleep would come in to snipe the killing blow with Storm Drain. Unfortunately, my only play here is to let it happen, as the switch is not guaranteed, but I do need to get the newborn fossil out of the arena. Lalip's special attack rises and I only have one now from this point forward. I go Nidoran. Don't ask why it's not evolved. I swear I didn't press B by accident in the evolution screen. Okay, I'm closing that. Wait, I actually just fucked up. No! And with a few double kicks, the leap turns into just another toy for a Growlithe, which gets sent out to flame wheel it back to the museum. Next is Omanyte, and do I even need to say what happens? Lombre one-shots Oma with one Mega Drain with the Bug Beast Anorith taking its spot. I Bubble Beam here expecting the free turn of Sandstorm. Anorith? Click Sandstorm, and I win the gamble. However, by choosing Grovyle, I already knew this moment would come eventually, and the only way forward is with a sacrifice. Anorith needs to be neutralized, and I do it by bringing in Growlithe to waste a turn from the weather and to get one more fake out chip off. Next on the chopping block is Nidoran, as there's exactly one more turn left of Sandstorm, and Grovyle can only kill Anorith without the special defense boost. 07's Nidoran and Growlithe, you will be missed. With the bug type now down, our starter can clean up the rest of Roxanne's team. A Mega Drain feints the chipped bird from earlier. Tyrant dies to 2 Dragon Breaths since one Rock Tomb from it can't kill me, even with a crit, and I still outspeed even after a speed drop. And finally, Nosepass gets completely walled by a spam of Mega Drains, regaining HP on my side, meaning we cleared through the first gym and that's the first badge acquired. Remember the delay I mentioned before Roxanne? Well, surprise surprise, it's a Luvdisc. I'm sure the editing didn't make that obvious. Well, even if it was obvious, what you may not know is that Luvdisc is a fairy type Pokemon in this hack, with a bunch of buffed stats. Not just that, but it also gets Draining Kiss right before Brawly, which is what enables the sweep I had previously teased. This is not what will fix our box alone, however, and we are kinda relying on the next bunch of encounters to save the run. Come on, did you really think I'd be able to beat this game with a Parasect, Venomoth, and Pidgeot? I fish up a Shelter in Dewfort's Bay, and a Magikarp above Rustboro in Route 115. I do end up delaying the routes near Dewford due to the surfing encounters later on being so much better. I then go into Granite Cave where I find a Woobat while trying to give Steven a letter from his father. Okay, it's finally time for me to showcase how broken Luvdisc really is. Yeah, that wasn't much of a challenge now, was it? Okay, no, let's rewind that a bit. This gym is actually kinda tough, and most end up having a bit of trouble with 1 or 2 mons due to the team compression. Obviously though, the runners I've seen play this game usually don't go for the heart-shaped fish, and hopefully this video sheds some light to demonstrate how this normally useless Pokemon is actually your best bet if you don't want to go through more early game resets. With the second badge now in our hands, and a bunch of the map unlocked, we get the chance to get a few more encounters to heal the box and ready my squad for Watson's team of electric types. So obviously, the number 1 target is ground types, since I did not start with Mudkip. I take a quick look at the encounter documentation, and there's one thing that sticks out to me very clearly. Between all the routes from 109 to Mauville, with 11, 17, and 18 included, it's just the Marshtomp replacements that are available to me. It's also only the 10% for Wooper, by the way, and if it wasn't obvious, yes, I did miss it. The Barboach, however, was guaranteed, so that's that. We still have another shot with all the electric type encounters, however. Heck, maybe there's even an immunity somewhere. Oh, duh, a Lantern. We get one shot at Volt Absorb Lantern, which will completely trivialize this fight. Okay. That's not a Lantern. That's a Finneon. We're doomed. On a more positive note though, I'm able to buy the evolution stones in Slateport, so Cloyster and Ludicolo both join our team. Watson's squad consists of an Aftermath Electrode, a sturdy air balloon Magneton, a stupid sheep and cats that nobody cares about, a spell tag Levitate Rotom, and finally his ace Manectric. The gimmick for this fight is the electric terrain that most of his party members set up to boost their stat power, and the constant Volt Switch spam which could chip my entire team into a quick wipe. The 6 members I choose for this fight end up being none other than Grovyle, Ludicolo, Skidoo, Parasect, Gyarados, and Barboach. My plan is to try and get around the Volt Switches by pivoting through Gyarados on a non-electric type move, and then into Barboach, with the grass types all in the back ready to come in and deal damage while hopefully not baiting Volt Switch. I start the fight with Boach, and since Electrode has no moves to hit me with, I take the chance to get a few amnesias off. Watson, however, switches out to Luxio instantly, intimidating my Barboach and blocking my strat. Should have bulldozed to snipe some chip, I guess. Anyway, I pivot through Gyarados on a Night Slash and go into Barboach on the expected Volt Switch. I spam Bulldozes while Watson clicks Baby Doll Eyes, and I'm able to force out a Super Potion out of him. With my attack being so lowered, I decide another pivot would be nice here, but I get predicted and Luxio switches out onto Rotom. And if you don't know why that happens, no, I didn't actually get predicted, but my Barboach was spamming Bulldozes, and Rotom is fully immune to them due to the Levitate that I mentioned earlier. Thankfully, I can force yet another switch since Gyarados is already out on the field. I go into Parasect as Flaffy gets baited out, aiming a Fire Punch at my dead Mushroom. I switch back into Pouch to shake the ground once again, however Watson finally gets an opportunity to set up the Electric Terrain. This is extremely terrifying obviously. I predict another Rotom switch and click Amnesia. Ding ding ding, I was right, and Rotom is back on the field, with this being easily the worst spot I could be in. If I miss an Aqua Tail, Rotom gets a crit, or if it decides to boost on me, we may actually be staring at a full Rotom sweep. Okay. Are you joking? Really? We do hit the Aqua Tail, but after the Omni Boost, the damage we put out is simply just not enough. I go Gyarados on another Ominous Winds, and thankfully Rotom does not get a second boost. With Gyarados out, I can just barely always bait Full Switch, which forces a switch and clears the boost from Rotom. The threat has been delayed, but it is not yet neutralized. I finish off the sheep with a second Bulldoze before it gets the chance to set up an Electric Terrain, and Luxio comes back out. With a Ludicolo switch for some fake out chippage, Barboach picks up yet another KO. The monster's back on the field, but this time, I have a better plan. I go into Parasect, risking yet another Ominous Wind boost, which thankfully doesn't happen, and with the Lumberry support, I am able to do a Spore into double Cut combo to finally put down Rotom. Also yes, Cut is now a Grass type move, so it gives my Parasect a stab, Grass type physical attack. Watson's Vanilla Ace Manectric is next, but Ludicolo plus Barboach absolutely annihilate the dog. Thankfully, it didn't Mega. It does, however, come at the cost of my HP bar being incredibly low on my only ground type, which is scary as hell with the 4 times weak Magneton being baited out 5th. I pivot through Gyarados to bait another Volt Switch as I go into Skidoo, then into Barboach since, reminder, Electrode has no moves to hit me. I did all of this expecting Electrode to switch yet again and giving me an opportunity to snipe the Magneton's air balloon with an Aqua Tail on the hard switch. This does not happen, however, and Watson fully stays in. I rest to get my HP back and then spam Earthquake till the round ball finally goes out. Finally, with the Boach being at full HP, I get the chance to break the 3-headed beast Toy Balloon. However, I was not ready for what was about to happen. The next few turns are a display of my abysmal supersonic confusion luck against this Magneton. That's GG's, I think. I know it's E-Terrain, but matter, we're not that spread into self-confusion. Out instead of or risking it again. Just don't crit, I mean. That's oh my god, the AI is just doing everything. Okay, find an answer through switching. Yeah, I don't know. No random full switch. Yeah, this max rolled, by the way. This just max rolled. I don't know, if I threw it, that's my bad. If I threw it, that's just my bad. Oh my god, we're done. We're done. This fight took 37 minutes, by the way, which was wild by itself. But the really crazy thing is that even with all the horrible events that just occurred, I still managed to get the 3rd badge fully deathless through a masterclass level steering session. If you want to watch these moments live, by the way, I highly incentivize you to consider dropping a follow on my Twitch channel. I stream my latest Nuzlocks there, and it's the best way to keep up to date with my content. With the level cap now increased from 28 to 38, we get a bunch of evolutions. Whiscash, Gogoat, Sceptile, Venomoth, Kingdra, Lumineon, and Pidgeot were all a huge boost, and may I say, I was finally feeling confident with how the run stood at this point. I mean, even without the broken starters, Blaziken and Swampert, my box is finally looking healthy, especially with the Magcargo, Skarmory, Bisharp, and Drapion that I just got on my way to Meteor Falls, where our next big stop is at. since Team Aqua's plans apparently involved kidnapping Professor Meteor over here for their Mount Chimney plans or whatever. And just like in vanilla ORAS, there's a new tag battle here that wasn't in the original Gen 3 games. Come on, we all love ROM hack tag battles, don't we? Come on, of course we do. Their whole strategy revolves around Shelly's Pokemon doing all the damage while the grunts set up Rain Dance and eventually reflect. There's several big points to this fight that make it very threatening on paper. Shelly's lead with a fake out prankster attract Liepard to cancel out whatever you want to do in the first turn. She has an annoying protect, poison touch, Muk second in command, and in the back her big bad ace, Life Orb Jellicent, which is fully ready to abuse the rain with Scalds to deal massive damage. I lead with Drapion since Attract won't work against it, meaning it's a perfect counter for the leads. I tank a fake out, Brendan's Swallow hits the bat, and a turn later the calf falls to an X-Scissor Bravery combination from both our Mons. Alright, Jellicent is out. I repeat, Jellicent is out. Golbat sets up the Rain Dance, but my Drapion is faster than the Sea Creature and knocks off the Life Orb. Scald kills our rival's bird here, but that's nothing to worry about, and he brings out his special Light Ball Pikachu, which picks up the KO against Golbat as he used Night Slash to finish the job off against the Jelly. Carvanha and Muk now take the stage on their side, but since Drapion is still really healthy, I stay in to knock off Muk's Black Sludge and get a lucky crit in the process. With that, I can finish off Muk, meaning we cleared Shelly's side with just Drapion alone, and the grunt side is just for support, so we can finish that off pretty shortly after too. Great, we can move on to the section above, because while we were fighting in Meteor Falls, time was being stalled for Archie, who was trying to stop the volcano or something, or flood it? Who knows, but what I do know is that I do need to stop him from doing his evil deeds, and with that comes another boss battle. This fight, however, is nothing compared to the tag. We countered the Golbat perfectly with Magcargo holding a Lum to cure the confusion. The Dragonair's bulky set with the Eviolite gets shut down completely by Bishop's knockoff into Ironhead. That damn Electrike from Redux is back, but this time I've learned my lesson, and I won't let my Hoenn starter fall to it again, so Saptal comes in and avenges Swampert with a few Giga Drains. Whiscash Earthquakes the Tentacruel, but not before it sets up the rain for Archie's 6th Mon, Sharpedo. Like I said at the beginning, we do have a perfect check into each of his Mons, and I wasn't lying. I switch into the Poliwrath that I got on Route 117, and with a double Wake Up Slap we break the Sash, and then the Shark himself. The path to Lava Ridge clears up and we're free to advance. My mind, however, is still stuck thinking about Team Aqua's strategy during their last few battles. What if I could reuse their evil gimmick for my own good use? Well, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Flannery's team is literally the closest you'll get to Emerald Kaizo's, with the Drought, White Herb Overheat spam on every Pokemon. There's one major difference between the Kaizo and Dre hacks though, and that is the accessibility to a ton of fun tools the AI also gets. And this is exactly why it's Luminion's time to shine. The drought goes up, and Ninetales sends a Solar Beam nuke ready to slice through my Water Butterfly like a perfectly cooked fish, but wait, no, that's not my original joke. Luminion only takes 50%. Good job, buddy. The rain is set, and with the first part of the plan being done, I spam Captivates and one Water Pulse to pre-damage Ninetales. I pivot one fish to another, and now it's Luvdisc's turn to finish the job. Rain boosted Scald kills the Ninetales, Houndoom, and Torkoal all back to back, proving that the heart-shaped menace is still a force to be reckoned with. The rain runs out right after that last kill, but it is no longer important. Scald also kills the 4x weak Magcargo and Camerupt duo. Okay, Luvdisc is kinda broken. Flannery sends out Delphox, her new ace, but her Psyshock spam is just no match for my defensively bulky Magcargo, which proceeds to finish the job with a few ancient powers. GG's Flannery, let's move on. With the badge acquired, Brendan acknowledges their progress and gives us the safety goggles as a tiny reward, and with it, I can finally access the Hoenn Desert and its many treasures. What treasures, you may ask? Well, most of the wild Pokemon here actually holds all the fossils available in the game, which I can safely revive back in Rustboro. If this was your run, what fossil would you go for? Well, for me, the highlight picks are most definitely Omastar, Aerodactyl, Bastiodon, and Archeops. Omastar can abuse the rain from Team Aqua and maybe even be a sweeper through Shell Smash. Aerodactyl can Mega Evolve and do some nasty damage with a Tough Class ability. Bastiodon is an insane tank with crazy good typing for Nuzlocke and a huge move pool. And finally, Archeops is a stronger Aerodactyl with a bit less speed, but with the ability to hold an item. It does have the Fetus though, but if the Spur takes a hit, it probably means it's dying anyway. I end up taking Bastiodon even though I already have Skarmory, since they actually do some pretty different things due to their typings and move pools. A big incentive was also the next boss, the normal type gym leader Norman, and a surprisingly strong team consisting of AB-Palm, Exploud, Staraptor, Sawsbuck, Bouffalant, and Slacking. With Skarmory alone, I could technically stall half of his team, but the issue being that I'd run out of juice pretty fast, through not only not having enough recovery, or PP for the job. Not just that, but the Exploud also packs an absolute correct set of Wise Glasses Boom Burst, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt, which obviously Skarmory cannot counter. This is where Bastiodon comes in to do its job with its part Rock type, meaning I only take normal or resisted hits from the Loudosauros. I lead Magcargo against the AB-Palm. 2 Lava Plumes later, and that's that. Staraptor comes out second due to the close combat base power, but since my Magcargo got the ability Solid Rock that reduces damage from the super effective moves, I can safely stay in and recover till the bird's stats have been lowered enough for 1 Ancient Power to finish the job. Sawsbuck's third, I go Toxicroak on the incoming high jump kick, and 1 Fake Out into Drain Punch later knocks out the deer. The Skarmory stall starts now as Bouffalant gets sent out. I click Toxic and Iron Head, which are indeed enough for the kill, but I end up taking a huge chunk of HP from the reckless boosted head charge spam that I predicted. Exploud comes out to revenge kill, but this is Bastiodon's time to tag in, putting another Toxic timer on Norman's side. Since I want to preserve HP on Bastiodon for the Slacking in the back, I switch into Magcargo and Lava Plume to speed up the Toxic kill, which does end up taking Exploud that same turn. With this, I can go back into Bastiodon against Slacking to click Toxic one last time, with my Toxicroak coming back out to flinch the monkey during its attacking turns and then drain punching it during Truants. With that, Norman's defeated and we get Surf. You can probably guess what time it is. I'm gonna go for it. With the ability to swim now available, we're able to get a bunch of new valuable encounters across many of the early sea routes. We got Petalburg spawn right outside the gym, as well as 105 and 108 accessible through Surf only going first. Then there's the routes I delayed way back then during Brawly splits, 106 and 107. Route 134 is right off Slayport, and last but not least we have both Sea Mauville and New Mauville. In Petalburg City, I fish up a Meryl, in 105 a Tentacool, and 108 is where Mantine was at. 106 and 107 give me Wingull and Frillish each. Sea Mauville's waters had the possibility of Sphelia or Dugong, but I end up getting the Gong. New Mauville's electricity fields attracted all the electro types, and yet I got another trash bag. Welcome back, Jerry. And finally, in 134, I get possibly the most important encounter of the entire run, Marvel Scale Dratini, which ends up turning into Multi-Scale Dragonite. With that, the encounter hunt is finished, but there's still one more encounter I got 2 splits ago that I haven't yet mentioned. In Meteor Falls, all the way back then, just before the tag battle against Shelly, I decided to roll the dice with the encounter table, since it could be absolute garbage or absolute gold. Wait! No! Beldum has been offline in the box since then, with no attention, but now it's time to turn that machine on and make it join forces with the rest of my squad. Our box is officially stacked. We have Multi-Scale Dragonite ready to be unleashed post Winona, and we have a deadly Metagross awaiting its inevitable time to shine with the Mega Evolution. I am feeling extremely confident at this point that this is the run. However, whenever you feel this way, Rom Hacks love to throw a huge challenge at you, making you question that confidence yet again. And with that, I obviously mean that there's yet another tag battle right in front of us. But this time, it's with Matt, Team Aqua's second admin in command. The main strategy is pretty similar to the last time, with Blastoise being the main threat, and with the partner grunt spamming status and spikes. My plan is to use the water types that we just got in a defensive style with Toxic to stall most of his team. Good. I brought Drapion, didn't I? I think I did. Because, yeah, this can burn. Which it didn't, nice. That can happen. It's gonna potion, probably. And yeah, this can happen. Okay. Fine, I don't care. Spikes are gone. Okay. That deals 50. Oh wait, no, I leveled up, of course. That's fine. That's a crit. Yep. It's early Shifu. Okay. Now, why does Steven have an aggron for this fight? I don't know. Or why is it not sturdy? Don't ask me. Okay. Okay. Viper. Oh my god. Okay, Steven, you're the goat. Never mind. Oh. Never mind. The fetus ends burns. Yeah, okay, buddy. Well done. We managed to get through another Aqua Tag Deathless, and I couldn't be happier. Their shenanigans isn't over quite yet though, as apparently the Sladius heist was all but a big distraction yet again to let them take over the Weather Institute in Route 119. Let's pause for a bit though, as there's something actually more important on my mind while exploring this route on my way to our destination, and it has to do with the Horde encounter mechanic from Gen 6. I'll let our Blue and Crystal Kaizu champion Bugford speak for me on this one though, since Gen 6's mechanics are some of his favorites.
Ho 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 ho, yes, nice one. Isn't that the second time you've made this joke? Anyway, I'm the Gen 6 expert, so let me explain. Horde encounters are bundles of 5 Pokemon you encounter all at once, and you need to activate through special means such as Sweet Scent or Honey, and Gongas hadn't used this at all till now because they were just being a lazy fuck. But thankfully, I'm here to save the day, because these next few encounters completely change a normal run. Usually, Drayano gives the player the starter Pokemon through gift NPCs around the game. However, in Rising Ruby and Sinking Sapphire, the Horde encounter mechanic was used for this exact reason. So, on Route 119, the wild Horde Pokemon is none other than Marshtomp, one of the 2 starters that Gongas didn't pick. And right after that, in Route 120, Combuskin awaits. Also, no, I'm not a fan of Gen 6, I hate Gen 6, fuck Gen 6, it's the worst gen, please don't fall for the lies and slander, dear viewer.
Well, the other time I did this bit was in a different video, so it's completely valid and still funny, okay? It's time for the Institute Gauntlets, but I'll spare you the details since all the fights were pretty straightforward here, with Shelly being the final boss of the area. This time, her Jellicent isn't half as threatening due to not having support Rain, plus not even having a Life Orb this time around, not to mention the countless more mons that we got at this point to counter it. Lovedisc Moonblasts the Liper to the moon, Mach gets stalled out completely by Skarmory, letting me set up the spikes in the process. Lapras gets slapped by Poliwrath just like Archie's Sharpedo, Magcargo burns Roserade's petals to ashes after a few turns, Big P Parasect spores and executes her own Ace Sharpedo, and finally, Bisharp comes in on a Toxic from Jellicent to knock off its HP to 0 and get us an easy victory. The actual challenge on this route wasn't even the Weather Institute Gauntlet if it wasn't obvious already. It was our own rival just before Fortree. While this isn't Brendan's best or most eye-opening team quite yet, I do make an incredibly huge mistake during the fight, causing the 3rd sacrifice of the run. Everyone got countered perfectly by something in my box, even his starter Blaziken, which was supposed to die by a rain boosted Surf from Lumineon. The part I didn't realize is that I didn't teach Surf. Crit? God fucking damn it. Fuck you, Lumineon. You suck. It's just a shame that it only died because I forgot a move. That feels really bad. Yeah, Focus Blast kills Swampert. I don't even care. I'm not attached to this. Good night. Confuse? I forgot about Citrus, by the way. That's really bad. Okay. Anyway. Rest in peace, little blue fish. Not to be confused with the little pink fish, obviously. After that unfortunate loss, as well as me grabbing my after-mentioned Speed Boost Combuskin from Route 120, I instantly start planning my team for the Flying-type Gym Leader Winona. This is where Drayano started introducing Mega Evolutions to gym leaders, and Winona is easily the hardest gym leader in the entire game, since if you let her set up a few Dragon Dance with her Gyarados or Mega Pixelate Altaria, she will send you right back to the truck with her own Fly HM. I have a secret tool, however, much like the Clang from Redux, and it's a strategy I quite literally copied from that game. Remember the Blastoise I used for my Elite Four? Anyway, the Blastoise moveset I used was Surf, Iron Defense, Shell Smash, and Rest. Well, I can partially do something very similar to my Cloyster, as it is also a Shell Armor Water type after all. I keep Surf and Shell Smash, but Iron Defense gets swapped out for Withdraw, since that's what I have at the moment, and I need Ice Shard for my strategy to work as well. We'll mostly be doing the same old dance of setting up +6 defense and then Shell Smash to sweep, but that alone won't be enough this time around.
We do not need the XP share.
I lead with the Boba Fett from the egg that I got in Lava Ridge, and Winona leads with Skarmory. Since it's not guaranteed to stealth rocks, I don't Anchor and just spam Charms 3 times to lower Skarmory's attack to the minimum, while also reducing its Brave Bird recoil damage. Then I go into Bastiodon to set up stealth rocks for free. Finally, Cloyster comes in, and it does what it knows best. Withdraw gets spammed till +6, while Leftovers heals us, and then 3 Shell Smashers make Cloyster the perfect answer into her whole team. Skarmory goes down to Surf, and then Honchkrow, Talonflame, Sigalith, and Gyarados all fall to an Ice Shard Stealth Rock apiece. Oh yeah, Mega Altaria also dies, but it's the first Mega in the game, so I felt the need to separate it in the scripts. With that, Winona is defeated, and the 6th badge is now ours. Oh shoot, I'm getting a call from Stephen? A gift? To help fight Team Aqua? Oh my god! With our starter finally gaining a much needed buff from its Mega Form, we stormed through Pyre and make Team Aqua look like a bunch of wet fools. However, we were not the only ones to get a Mega Stone by Steven. Turns out that bastard actually gave it to Brendan as well. I had mentioned before that he didn't have his strongest team just yet, and that was because of this fight. Since not only do I now have to worry about a speed boost cracked moveset Mega Blaziken, but I also have to worry about a Pixie Plate Pixelate Hyper Voice Sylveon, which can quite literally one-shot or two-shot 90% of the Pokemon you get till this point in the game. I genuinely have no idea what was going on in Drayano's head while cooking this fight, because it's a huge power spike compared to the last rival interaction. Oh, and to add insult to injury, Sylveon also has Psyshock to play around especially defensive walls with low defense, and Shadow Ball to play around steel types, and to top it all off, let's give it Reflect, just to make it randomly hard to kill. I started off with Bastiodon to counter Swallow, while also getting up some Stealth Rocks for some important chip later on. Raichu gets baited in due to Focus Blast, but I go Parasect since I resist all of its moves. 2 Spores followed by a few X-Scissors take down the Electric Rat, meaning Wailord now comes out aiming Blizzards at us, but just like last time, Jellicent can just wall it perfectly with recovering Giga Drains. Now 4th is Sylveon, and my answer is Metagross, which should outspeed and kill even after Reflect with a Meteor Mash Iron Head combo, since I need that extra damage from Mash first to guarantee the kill. However, things don't go the way I wanted them to, because of course they didn't.
Hold it. Cool. Why? What? What the fuck? Oh, we're speed tied. I thought I outsped by 1. Okay. Yeah, it was a speed tie. My god, okay.
Well, turns out Sylveon and Metagross were actually speed tied. Breloom's next, but it's no match for Skarmory, which just Drill Pecks twice through Reflect to pick up the easy KO.
That's why I didn't kill. So this is just random move. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, no, this doesn't have Protect, so... Oh my god, fine. GG's. Now you're faster. You miss. And good night.
I think it's really funny how Brendan just decided to quit here and retire as the trainer. Let's create a headcanon though, and let's say that he got so salty that even after he got a Mega and a broken Sylveon, he still wasn't able to get a single kill on me. You know who may actually have a chance to get a kill on my team though? Aqua Hideout Matt, and his last chance to get revenge on me after the sloppy mission that was the Mount Pyre takeover. The danger on this team is actually his ace, Blastoids, which can now Mega Evolve and change its ability. Why did I say Blastoids? I meant
Blastoise. And its ability Mega Launcher, which can Mega Launch ORAS Spheres and Dark Pulses my way, as well as the Stab, Hydro Pumps, and Huge Blizzards with buffed stats.
I trust my play.
Oh my god, it's too easy. Wacko Flex. Like full restores or nothing. We have a Cherry Berry. I outspeed by 2, that's why I leveled up. Good night. This guy's so scary. Okay, hold. Cool. Fine. Oh, did he crit? The ability didn't change the calc. I forgot about that. Oh no, we were absolutely dead to crit with our Sphere. And that was guaranteed Aura Sphere, which was perfect, but now it isn't. Shit, okay. Aura Sphere. Yes, okay. That's still so much damage. It's a fucking Mantine. It's non-stab. Why did it do 20 damage? I'm gonna Mirror Code. Come on. Yes, okay. I think that's it. Mantine, let's go. My goat. This is the second battle in a row where I've completely forgotten something related to the calc. Last time it was the speed tie, and now it was the ability change damage. At least we haven't actually been punished for these mistakes, but I do intend to at least try and stop them from happening again. At least this time it wasn't really my fault, since the calc itself should have changed the ability, so I was expecting the calculator to automatically give me the damage when I Mega Evolved in it. With Matt destroyed and Archie stealing a submarine, they no longer feel the need for a hideout and instead go underwater, meaning the path into the great waters of Hoenn is now open as Team Aqua no longer feels the need to block it. Just like with Post Norman, we get a huge boost for our box with a ton of new encounters. I'll be faster this time though, since there's so many routes now available to us. Right after Lily Cove I fish up a Chinchou and I failed a 50-50 for Volt Absorb, meaning I got stupid Illuminate. I got a guaranteed Carvanha from Moss Deep, great for Tantaliza. A Shell Armor Lapras from 125, which was 50-50 on its ability with the other being Water Absorb, and a minus speed Sassy Inner Focus Sneasel on Shoal Cave, which doesn't turn into Ignition. Probably one of my top complaints for this game is the encounter variety in the fishing routes. Most of them have the same one over and over again. Hell, I end up getting Clamperl, Skrelp, Relicanth, Wailmer, and Corsola, yet I somehow still have 3 or 4 places without an encounter just because of the dupes. Either way, these last few encounters really don't matter stats or nature wise, since I'll barely use any of them. With the map opened up, you also get access to a few Mega Stones, and one of them happens to be the Mega Sharpedo Knight, perfect for the Tantaliza cook I planned up. The Psychic duo remained a double battle, just like in Vanilla, however this time, their original aces Lunatone and Solrock start off the fight, both being their now new leads, with Gallade and Gardevoir being their wild cards ready to sweep my whole squadron. They also had some kind of fights, apparently between who was the strongest and whoever won got the Mega Stone. I don't know how they thought this would be fair. I mean, Gardevoir is literally a Psychic Fairy type while Gallade is a fighting Psychic. Anyway, obviously Gardevoir got the Mega, meaning we now have to face yet another Pixelate Hyper Voice spamming mon, since apparently the Sylveon from a few moments ago was just an appetizer. Alright, so Lunatone and Solrock both have Reflect and Light Screen respectively. However, Lunatone sees Moonblast kill on Sharpedo, and Solrock always sees Stone Edge kill on my Sharpedo. Now on the Kingdra slot, I will click Surf, breaking Lunatone's and Solrock's sashes. Shut the fuck up, boy. Protect. Stone Edge. Moonblast. Okay. We crunch and we brine. Oh, I forgot about that. That's fine, I think. Okay, that's fine. The bad thing about this is that the Gallade that's about to come out... Wait, no, don't throw. I protect and I surf. This is always Gallade on the right slot. This is Focus Blast on the Sharpedo. It's an NC kill. Shit. That's fine. That's 30% and that's okay. It was always an NC kill anyway. It's okay. We're fine, I think. I'm sacking Mega Sharpedo and Kingdra, I think. I just have way too many water types. I don't care. I'm going full kill everything at this point. O7's to one of them. Unfortunate. I was kind of expecting Sharpedo to die there, but okay. Oh boy, okay. Okay. I need to go for the flinch. I need to go for the flinch. If Sharpedo dies, I don't care. I don't care if Sharpedo dies. Genuinely, it's not coming to the E4. I already have a plan. Flinch. Flinch. Fuck, I can actually do that. It's in a C kill. Okay, hold on. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Yes, okay. The crit is so bad, but that's... We crit! That was a crit! Oh my god! Metagross! Earthquake, we're fine, we have a Shuka. We take that for breakfast, baby. Oh, we're not Levitate, true. That's not gonna do shit, buddy. I'm Shell Armor. Alright. 7 badges. Sharpedo lives. Insane.
That was scarier than it should have been, but I got bailed out by quite a bit of RNG. Metagross easily being the MVP. Rest in peace, Kingdra, thank you for all you did. If you haven't noticed, we're officially in the final stretch of the game, and there's 3 big bads left standing in our path, with a few mini-bosses in between the last 2. Archie is first, since he decided it was finally time to use the orb to find Kyogre, located deep underwater in Seafloor Cavern. The final confrontation against the Team Aqua leader consists of fighting against his trusty friendship Crobat, Tentacruel, Walrein, his Mega Sharpedo to counter my own, as well as the damn Electros, which I still have PTSD over. And finally, easily the scariest mon on his team, Multi-Scale Assault Vest Dragonite. Out of all the mons on his side, this draconic beast could very easily end the lives of so many mons if I'm not careful. Maybe it can set up, but I just cannot deal any damage to it in any kind of matchup. My own answer ends up being Life Orb Freeze Dry Lapras, which should always get 1 hit off due to Shell Armor and maybe kill after I set up a Stealth Rocks. But if Dragonite high rolls twice, Lapras will always be dead to its own Life Orb chip. And in all honesty, this guy can totally come to the E4 to freeze Drake's Dragon Pseudos.
Oh my god, the boombots. Okay. I led the wrong mon. Okay. We just need to get the Stealth Rocks up. I don't care if he U-turns after. Fuck. Frame rate dropping because of the background. We always live Earthquake into Outrage. Low roll though. Stop. Okay. And now Lapras dies. To guarantee the kill. What? Turns out smart-ass Bast Self calced at level 67, which always kills the Dragonite, but at 66, this was just not always the case. So 07's to Lapras, I guess. Fuck! Okay. Die, buddy. The Tentacruel. That Dragonite was multi-skill Assault Vest, by the way. Okay. Nice. Berry. Yeah, that was rain. Yeah. I was expecting rain to be out, and now I have to risk fucking range. Yeah, sir. Good night, bye bye. So, bad thing, Lapras didn't need to die. We always outspeed. That's Archie. Maybe I also forgot about rain in this calc, but we keep moving. I totally didn't just almost lose another Swampert. Anyway, the apocalypse goes off, we go after Kyogre and kill with Sceptile, because of course we do, and we just save the world. Okay, no, but in all seriousness, if you didn't understand what I meant by I could have actually saved Lapras, well, turns out I could have easily chained kills throughout Archie's team with my starter stab moves, meaning I didn't need Azrael's HP for the Sharpedo interaction, meaning I could have easily used the Zoomerl to come in on Dragonite's E-speeds or Confuse turns when Lapras lived on 2 HP and 1v1'd it right there. All this happened because I didn't plan the fight in a line like you should in a difficulty hack, but instead I planned this boss fight with counter to counter, meaning I brought 1 for each of Archie's, which meant my composition was tighter and had less room to breathe. In that case, it was fully my fault and it was a big hindsight moment. Anyway, reminder, I'm trying to beat this game as fast as possible and this is all an excuse as to why I'm playing horribly. With Wallace's shitty ice puzzle, I mean beautiful Ice Kingdom gatekeeping us from the final gym badge and the usage of the Waterfall HM, he's the next fight we gotta prepare for. His Mega is Swampert, and since I'm so close to the E4, while I do plan the line this time around, I also plan sacrifices on purpose to get me there faster, and I can very happily say this line is fully guaranteed, even with bad luck. Step 1. Get through Wallace's ice puzzle, which I've somehow memorized. Totally. Trust. Step 2. Start the fight. And finally, Step 3. Bullet Toad's Drizzle Storm goes up, and Big B's Spore into Sunny Day comes out right after. Now all it comes down to is Big B's luck. He either clutches up through the Sleep RNG gods, or dies trying to win this matchup. Okay. Turns out Parasect really is goated, and I decide to bring back Parasect, taking in the Sand Toxic, the Dragalge, which not only eats the Dancing Pineapple's moves, but also one-shots it with Sludge Wave. Kingdra's out third, but our trusty heart-shaped fish clutches up once more, pivoting in on the useless Dragon Pulse to respond with a powerful Moonblast and making Wallace send out his Purple Patrick in response to the Seahorse falling down. Finally, this is where Big B has to sadly go. His earlier chance at a sacrifice may have been put to a stop at first, but it was still an inevitable part of the plan. Sceptile now finally drops onto the field to Mega Evolve and boost its stats once more, throwing a boosted Grass Pledge right into Starmie's face, breaking it apart. The Milo comes in to respond with a now 4x super effective Ice Beam, but I can safely switch into Lantern, who can very comfortably sit on the field, taking hit after hit with its high special defense, while spamming both Toxic and Thunderbolts to finish the job. Remember what I said about sacrificing Pokemon for the guaranteed win? Well, Lantern will be following Parasect's steps, since with no Volt Absorb on it, I feel no remorse to sacrifice it over my Dragalge. And with the second F, Sceptile comes in to swoop an extremely easy Oko, beating the Mega Starter duel, as well as the final gym fight, and acquiring me the final badge in Hoenn.
The challenges aren't quite over though, and I wish they were, but Triano always loves to sprinkle in some kind of special sauce right before the Elite Four in his hacks, and this time around is no different, as every single trainer in Victory Road has a Mega Pokemon alongside their other team members. I repeat, every single trainer has a Mega Evolution. This means you really need to be careful navigating through this Victory Road and not walk into any optional fights, as they could very easily wipe you. Hope's Audino, Bryn's Lopunny, Edgar's Mawile, Theodore's Blaziken, and finally Adon and Finn's Medicham are all the mandatory Megas we need to face, as well as the rest of their full teams. But as you can see from this very fun clip montage, all of them fell in the span of a few hours, and our path to Wally was cleared. I was clawing my eyes out at this point, as it was around 2 in the morning, and I was desperately trying to finish the stream and go to sleep for the next day so I could start planning out the E4. I was done. Our final confrontation against Wally is nothing close to a joke, unlike our final fight back in Marvel City. With how stacked our box is, with this being the final fight in the game for the big finale, my plan going in was the exact same with Wallace. Get in, execute a line, sacrifice Pokemon to give me momentum, and get out. Roseraide's out first, and my Dragonite answers it perfectly. A Lumberry cures the Sleep Powder, and Fly breaks the Sash slowly the second turn, playing around the second Sleep Powder since I'm slower. Chomps baited out seconds due to the outrage damage, but my Azumarill tags in and absolutely destroys the dragon with a critical hit Play Rough, making Wally send out Magnezone to get revenge with Thunderbolt. But thankfully, Magnezone is not Azumarill pull, and instead is Magnet pull. I go Swampert on the expected Thunderbolt, and I use Waterfall to break its air balloon, and hopefully flinch. And even though it doesn't happen, it's all fine and dandy, since a Signal Beam crit won't kill me, and I have a Lumberry for confusion. Earthquake lands, and the machine falls. The Fire Eagle's out for blood next, but the Mech Cargo we got all the way back then comes back for one last battle to power gem its way into killing the Phoenix once and for all. Azumarill is Wally's last wall of defense before his Mega, and this is where we say goodbye to Mag. Good job, bud. Draiano did an incredible job with the buffs, and you were easily one of my favorite mons to use this run. The Drapion we caught right next to the Slug is extremely angry and wants to take revenge on Azumarill, crossing it with Toxic Sludge till it dies, and while she does manage to avenge its fallen friend, Drapion knows very well what's coming next, and unfortunately, there's just one more sacrifice that's needed for Loveless to finish the job. Gallade Mega evolves. Close combat's Drapion, Drapion falls. Loveless drops the final Moonblast, and just like that, we're at the doors of the sinking Sapphire Pokemon League in a singular attempt. This is it. 5 fights are in front of us, and once I beat them, we're done. Let me introduce you to what we'll be facing. The Elite Four all use Megas, optimal boosting and healing items, as well as the Choice Lockers, all of which Draiano had not used in any of the other trainers till this point in the game. And according to multiple sources, apparently there's some kind of special AI with these items. Actually, hold on, I know who's perfect for the job. Dre! I mean, not only did he create the game, but he also surely has experience with other Gen 6 hacks.
Hello Gongi, what do you need?
Hi Dre, guess you just got to the Singing Sapphire Elite Four? Oh, yeah, I also got a question for you.
Oh, congrats. That's not something I get to hear a lot nowadays. So what did you want to ask?
Well, this is the first time you gave choice items to trainers in this game, and I heard there was some kind of special AI. I was kinda expecting that you'd be able to teach me how it works.
That's right. Let's say a trainer has their Scarf Gengar locked into Shadow Ball against your Swampert. In this matchup, Shadow Ball can still hit you, so Gengar will stay in and keep spamming it. Now let's say you decide to pivot into a resist such as Bishop. The AI will see that it can deal damage to you, and will determine that it's not worth doing anything about the choice lock, even though it's doing minimal damage. You see what I'm getting at with this? The AI will never switch if they're actually able to attack. The interesting stuff comes from when you switch into an immunity. In this third scenario, instead of staying in with Swampert, Fearow switches in to eat the ghost type moves. But since you're not taking any damage, the AI will want to switch into one of its teammates even if they don't have super effective moves to hit you with. This isn't guaranteed though. When all requirements are ticked, it's still only a 50% chance for it to actually happen.
Okay, cool, so all of this means that I can lock them onto a certain move and have a free turn of setup, or I can even chip things in the back as they switch.
No, no, and no. Did your brain shut off for that last part? It is not guaranteed!
Now, it's finally time for all of you to meet my final team. Manchicken, the Blaziken, Bugful Love, the Volcarona, Dino Dance, the Dragonite, Gongas 1 Love, the Love Disc, Gongas 1 Smash, the Metagross, and finally... Wait, what do you mean I still have encounters left to get?
Oh my god, wait! Okay, that's an instant lock. Where's my V-Create? The Darmanitan. D6 will make sure we prevail through the last challenge in our way to officially be crowned the champions of Hoenn. And with me being fully confident on this squad, I take one final breath. And we go in. Alright, so. Weavile. What a banger. Mega, so we get the speed, plus the speed boost, and protect. Yes, JP. We get speed boost, and good night. +1, and that's 1 kill. Greninja, good night. Join the Discord! I got promoted. We get intimidated. And here's the thing. We no longer kill. And I died to crit. So what now? It's gonna use high jump kick. We protects on the high jump kick. What? Why did it just knock off my Blaziken? Wait, this was not in the plan. Never mind. We're going off plan now anymore. Again. Shit. Okay, hold on. Already? Really? Gotta spice it up, I guess. Why? There's no overlaps. Yeah, just knock off AI. Oh, crit! Fuck. So this is kind of whack because there's 2 mons in the back with Sucker Punch. However, I think we should be fine. You never know. Appreciate it. This is Focus Sash, so we double kick. Okay, no Sucker Punch. Fuck off. Pin missile strats. Good night. Because it sees a kill, so it shouldn't go for Sucker Punch, right? Okay. Good night. That's Sydney. Whew. My goat. Alright! Phoebe! Miss Mag lead. This Miss Mag is kinda scary. However, we are faster at 76 with Volcarona. This Miss Mag has T-Wave, so you know what that means. We have 3 quiver dances, and we have sub up. That's all we need. 1. We technically do need more than 3 quiver dances, but since we have sub up, I can just 2-shot one of the ones in the back, so I don't need to stay in and keep doing quiver dances. And that one is Gourgeist, because Gourgeist resists fire. It doesn't. I'm kidding. Does Snore? Maybe it's this Pokemon that I don't kill. There you go. This Chandelure is Flash Fire. Wait, shit. I forgot to teach Psychic. Wait, fuck. Fuck, wait, hold on. I fucked up. Wait, hold on. Wait, can I? Wait, I can PP Soul if it's Fire Blast. I can just substitute. I can just spam substitutes. I can spam substitutes. Wait, fuck! I'm debating you guys. It's not. Oh my god, the miss! The fact, you guys believe that. Imagine. And here's a Mega. Okay. Good night! That's Phoebe. Who knows? I'm risking crit turn 1. Deja vu, I know. Thunderbolt. Yes! Okay, no para. We're not out. We're super not out. Because we only got +2. Mamo, this is Choice Scarf. This is Thick Fat. Okay, this is good. This was one of the big threats. +2 in the sun, I outspeed, I kill. This is Snow Cloak. We have the sun up. So we don't have sun up, but this Jinx is aiming a Lovely Kiss or a Psychic at us. Psychic never breaks my sub. Lovely Kiss obviously can't go through the sub. Just Lovely Kiss. Just Lovely Kiss. Okay. I think we should be fine. I think that's it. I think that's game. Holy shit. I did not mean to risk crit para and crit. We're fine. There's no protect. Jesus. Okay. This is where the E4 really starts. You know, because we can't really sweep the fight. We can chain kills. We're gonna abuse how Switch AI works in this next fight. Alright, let's go. So, this Hydreigon is Life Orb and Draco Meteor. However, I have a Haban Berry and I have Multi-Scale. We Dragon Dance once. Perfect. Now, we are dead to Draco Meteor, but now we outspeed and always one-shot. Good night. He did that strat because we outspeed and we always one-shot this Kingdra. We get chain kills. Alright, hold on. Yeah, we always outspeed and we always one-shot. Good night. Okay, so here's the thing that I mentioned before. This Flygon is aiming an Outrage. This thing is Choice Scarf. It outspeeds me even after a Dragon Dance, and it's always, always, always using Outrage. So we're just gonna go into our Fairy type. So, now, how the AI works is when it's locked with the choice item, it goes into a mon in the back. Or I mean, when it's locked and it's locked into an immunity, I mean. If it's not into an immunity, it'll stay on the field. But since it's an immunity, it should switch into Haxorus right now. Haxorus has Poison Jab. So we're taking this opportunity and chipping the Haxorus so Moonblast the next turn always kills. Haxorus has a Roselli Berry, so that's why I need to use the Fairy move first, and then that always kills. We're just gonna Moonblast. We Dragon Kiss. It didn't switch. Whoa, wait, what? What do you mean it didn't switch?
But it is not guaranteed.
Oh, right. Shit. Did we actually hit that range? Okay, that's really fucked. Wait, it didn't switch. That's really bad. Oh, that's really fucking bad. Oh, that's really fucking bad. So it's just a 50%? Is it actually just a 50% chance? And everybody just got the 50% chance for it to switch and I didn't? I can sack Mons at this point, by the way. I can sack Pokemon. Alright, I'm sacking Blaziken. I decided. It's not in this turn that's gonna die, but it's gonna die eventually. That's still so much damage. This plan wasn't 100%. That's why, yeah, that's what I mentioned by. That's what I meant by this is where the D4 really starts, I guess. You can technically be outraged and miss the range. Nope. Even after Roselli. Okay. That's really that was really shitty. Okay, whatever. Mence comes out. We're faster than this Mence. We were supposed to attack this again on the switch in. However, that's not gonna happen. I need second another Mon. I need second another Mon. Yeah, no, it's a 30% chance kill with Moonblast. Just Earthquake. Even then, I don't know if we're safe. Yeah, no, we're not safe. Yeah. Attack Dragonite. This is gonna be super close, by the way. Because land still has full restores. I have to sack Salamence. Or Dragonite. Yeah. That should be enough. Alright. 3 months, Steven. It's gonna be really close though. That's really scary.
Okay, this is it. 3 months down and 3 months standing in place ready to fight for our freedom out of hell that this Elite Four is. The truth is, I'm not sure if I'll win. Metagross, it's all you. Bring us home.
Gen 6 Steven. Let it begin. Alright. Let's do this. Close the prediction. You guys are doubters, what the hell? We don't have Swampert. We can't do any type of Swampert setup shit. We have a Metagross. Mega Metagross, let's fucking go! Holy fuck, this mod is so cool. Okay. No Sandstorm, no Stealth Rocks. Come on, just sub, or I mean just fucking Stealth Rock, please. We're faster now. Hornclaws. Good, okay. Super good. We need 3 Hornclaws. 2. Good, okay. That's really good. We're going for the third one. 1. Good. Meteor Mash. We're gonna sub again. Okay. September, baby, let's fucking go. Okay, that's good. Wait. Okay. Metagross. This thing is Focus Sash. T-Wave. T-Wave. Fuck. Fuck. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Yes. Okay. I think we're fine. It actually fucking full restored. Come on. This is why we need sub. This Aerodactyl outspeeds us and has a Life Orb, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Aquatil, and Brave Bird sets. Good night. Diane C. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Now, this Mega Metagross is faster than mine. It's faster than me, I'm gonna die, right? Unfortunately, for this meta, this is Gen 6, and that's not how it works. Sinking Sapphire, attempt 1. Completed. 5 streams is all it took me to beat this game. We didn't even use Darmanitan. That was the joke. Chat, you guys got debated. And just like that, Metagross, no, we all did it. Sinking Sapphire had been beaten in one attempt, and what a journey and run this was. I had so much fun playing this game, and I truly can't recommend it enough. It deserves more attention, especially nowadays, with the saturation of ROM hacks that change so much from the original game. So yes, maybe this game doesn't add events or extra fights, but I'll tell you this was easily the most fun I've ever had playing Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Thank you everyone for watching. It was so much fun working on the second project, and I hope all of you had a good time with the results. If you made it to the end, it probably means you enjoyed the video, and if so, do consider leaving a like and subscribing, and make sure to check out my socials, Twitch, Twitter, and the Discord server to keep up to date on my latest challenges. Alright, that's all for now, so yet again, thank you, from the bottom of my heart.